is Paige here with Fun Robotics Network. Today we're here with Team 7166, Red Thunder Robotics, at the FIM Mason Event. Today we're here with Clayton, Evan, and Tanner, and they're going to walk us through their robot, starting with their intake, into their indexer, to their kicker, to their shooter, and finally finish us off with the code and their limelights. Stay tuned for another episode on Behind the Bumpers. All right, Clayton, tell us more about your robot.
I'm Clayton here at 7166 Red Thunder Robotics, and I'm here to talk to you about our intake and our indexer systems. So for our intake, we have a 4-bar actuation powered by a X44 here underneath our indexer. That is a 53-to-1 gear ratio to power our actual linkage. And then moving to the actual part of our intake that goes outside our bumpers, we have one X60 with a 12 tooth to 18 tooth, so a 1.5-to-1 gear ratio powering our top roller. And then it is a simple 1-to-1 gear ratio between the top and bottom roller. Our rollers are polycarb, 1.25-inch diameter with silicone sleeves on them, and they have worked amazingly throughout our Mount Pleasant and this Mason event. And then we also have here a 1x1 tube going across to provide structural support that allows us to take heavy impacts from the front and the sides. And then all of this goes up and out, and this is also our hopper, and that connects to our intake through a bolt here. And then we have the same on the other side, and that makes sure they are linked and always move together. And at the top of our hopper, we have 2 Masumi slides, which are FTC drawer slides, and they ensure that our hopper has smooth actuation. And then we have 2 holes cut out on the side to allow us to access these bolts so we can remove our whole intake without having to take the hopper side panels off. Moving along to our indexer, we have a roller bed of the same tubes as our intake, all connected, spaced 40 with 40 tooth belts. And the cool thing about our indexer is as it is completely modular. So we can pull these 2 pins and take our whole indexer out of our robot. Wow. Just by disconnecting these wires from our motor in the back right corner. Then that allows us to access all of our electrical in our robot and replace our battery.
Before we get to our next segment, we'd like to thank the following. As you're getting ready for the competition season, think AnyMark as your one-stop shop for all your team needs. AnyMark's Launcher in a Box is a configurable solution that so many teams are finding success with for the rebuilt season. Also available at anymark.com, the AMPD AnyMark Power Distribution Board that provides 24 40-amp independently fused output channels for safe, reliable power distribution. That's anymark.com. Kettering University's cutting-edge programs in their experiential co-op model seamlessly blend the professional and academic worlds, offering hands-on, feature-focused learning that empowers students to pursue new ideas and inspires other institutions to follow their lead. Don't just be ahead of the curve, create the curve. Get more information at kettering.edu/first.
All right, Tanner, tell us a little bit more about the kicker and the shooter.
I'm Tanner. So coming out of the indexer, we have a giant 2-inch beater bar with cat tongue to help the balls go into our kicker, which are these 2 lower rollers that spin to get the balls into our upper kicker, which are these 3 upper rollers, which are all linked with belts. And then there's a back plate that allows it to get some backspin before it goes into our shooter. Our shooter is a drum style shooter. It's got a 3-inch aluminum tube on the front and 2 1.5-inch drums on the back. It's on a hood that can go up to about 45 degrees. So we can shoot almost all the way across the field and have accurate measurements to the hub.
All right, Evan, tell us a little bit more about the code.
Yeah, so for our robot, we use 3 line lights for constant April track tracking and pose estimation, which is useful for auto so that we the robot knows where it is and we get accurate positioning, which has been really helpful when we've actually collided with robots going across the center line and staying on the field and making sure that we make it back to our line zone. We also use the April tags to completely control our shooting. So We have an adjustable hood, as you can see, and we also will change the speed of our drum shooter depending on our distance from the hub, as well as rotate our robot toward the hub so that all the fuel actually goes in.
This is changed on the fly throughout your program.
Depending on the distance from the robot to the hub.
Yeah, super cool bot. Walk us through some iterations of how this came to be.
So the first major iteration for our robot is actually our custom tube inserts. So we have been iterating these for the last couple of years to figure out what works best for us. So these are custom 3D prints with pulleys integrated into them, and they have simple pockets for square nuts so we can actually bolt them into the tubes. And then we use our lathe to create custom hex rod with snap ring grooves on the back so we can place a washer and snap ring so we don't have to worry about any bolts backing off into the tube. And then on the end, it depends on what the roll is used for. For example, this is one of our hubs for our indexer to where we use shoulder bolts that go directly into here, and this is flush with the bearing. But for our indexer, we have the hex rod extend out so we can use a traditional 1/2-inch hex bearing. Another major iteration that we've had throughout the entire design process of our robot is these Masumi slides. We tried lots of different ways to actuate our hopper, one of them being just 2 pin slots that went forward and back, but we had issues with jamming. So we decided to explore to different areas that we'd never tried before, and we found that these worked really well, and we have stuck with them throughout our Mount Pleasant event and Mason.
One of our most major iterations was our shooter. At Mount Pleasant, we had a dual lane shooter that had it was not like a drum, it had a divider in the center, so it was 2 separate flywheels, and it actually shot over the intake instead of out the back.
Oh, wow.
We changed that because at Mount Pleasant, we found out that defense is very easy to be played on us. Because if we're shooting the same way as our intake and we're intaking from in front of the driver's station, they can just sit on our back bumper and not allow us to rotate our shooter back around to dump into the hub. So we completely flipped the drum. When we added the drum, we flipped it around so it would shoot out the opposite way of our intake, and that also helps with streamlining the balls coming through the intake and going out the drum to maximize our balls per second.
Yeah, so for our time that we've been using at the Mason event, we start on either side of the trench, we go into the neutral zone, pick up a full hopper, come back under the trench, dump that hopper, and then after that we go through the trench again and leave off in the neutral zone so that we have a head start into the transition zone with some fuel already in our hopper and in a good position.
What are your plans for next?
Yeah, so for auto, we're planning on utilizing the bump so that we can get a way bigger speed advantage, and we also eventually want to add a second swipe so that we get double our fuel output.
For our intake and hopper system, well, throughout Mount Pleasant and Mason, it was very robust and it has taken a lot of damage. We want to make it even more robust for states because defense is most likely going to be a big role there. And we want to make sure that we don't have to worry about our intake breaking in any way.
We plan on going to L1 hook climb, and then we are going to have to move our limelights to a different location because the 1x2s that the limelights are currently sitting on are actually our climbers, and we also would like to have our climbers be our extendable hopper vertically, so we could go under the trench, fill up our hopper, and it would expand, and then we go back over the bump, and then we can shoot all of our fuel that we collect in our bigger hopper.
Thank you again, Clayton, Evan, and Tanner, Team 7166, for walking us through your robot. Good luck in competition tomorrow, and see everyone on the next episode of Behind the Bumpers.
Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and click the bell to stay up to date on future fun videos. Kettering University's cutting-edge programs and their experiential co-op model seamlessly blend the professional and academic worlds, offering hands-on, future-focused learning that empowers students to pursue new ideas and inspires other institutions to follow their lead. Don't just be ahead of the curve, create the curve. Get more information at kettering.edu/first. As you're getting ready for the competition season, think AnyMark as your one-stop shop for all your team needs. AnyMark's Launcher in a Box is a configurable solution that so many teams are finding success with for the rebuilt season. Also available at anymark.com, the AMPD AnyMark power distribution board that provides 24 40-amp independently fused output channels for safe, reliable power distribution. That's anymark.com.